Hello and welcome back to another weekend preview on the Football Zone. Big weekend of Premier League and Championship action coming up, so let's get straight into it. Starting off with a huge game in the Premier League on Friday, Newcastle v Aston Villa. After Fulham's really good form, Newcastle desperately need results and quickly because Fulham are coming at them. This will be a tough game though. Villa not on the greatest form though, so I do think this will be a game that they're targeting. I do think it will be close though, and I do think they will share the spoils. I'll say one apiece. Chelsea travel to Leeds on Sunday lunchtime. This should be a really entertaining game. Leeds tend to struggle against the big six, so I do probably think Chelsea may just have enough here, especially with the form they're showing under Thomas Tuchel. Some really great results recently, and they're looking very likely for a top 4 space now at the moment, you'd have to say, if they can keep up their current form. But as I say, I do think Chelsea will get the win, and I'm going to say 2-0. Crystal Palace host West Brom in a huge game at the foot of the table. Palace now, I think they're pretty much safe, to be honest. Got an 8-point cushion with 10 games to go. It's hard to see them being caught. West Brom, 8 points adrift. Bit like Crystal Palace, same sort of distance. It's hard to see them having much of a chance of staying up, even with Big Sam as their manager. And I think Palace will have more quality here, to be honest. And I'm going to say a 1-0 home win, I think. Everton host Burnley at Goodison Park. Everton, they're going okay at the moment, you'd have to say. Won the last 3, but did get defeated by Chelsea last time out. Burnley are the draw specialists. Drawn 4 of the last 5. Lost the other one, so they're winless in 5. Not on a great run. 4 points above the relegation zone, so it's not over yet. They need a result, but I do think Everton will have too much quality. I'll say 2-0. Fulham host Manchester City at what's Fulham's ground called? Craven Cottage, that's one, just mind that now. But anyway, Manchester City, they'll be back full of confidence following that win over Southampton. Fulham, what a result last time against Liverpool, and they must be thinking they could even have a chance there. Who'd have said that a few weeks ago? But I do think Man City will see minor dominance here. I'll say 1-0. I don't think it'll be easy though. Moving on to Sunday's games, starting off with a huge game at the bottom of the Premier League, where Southampton host Brighton. Southampton, not on a great run of form, really, it has to be said. They're 7 points above the relegation zone. It's not all over yet, I don't think, considering their form. Brighton, their form is incredibly concerning. Lost the last 3, just 1 point from the last 5, and suddenly the relegation zone is looking a bit shaky. They need to get a result here. I can see it being a draw. I'll say 1-1. Leicester host Sheffield United at the King Power. Leicester, bit of a shaky run recently, it has to be said, but still got a 5-point cushion in the top 4. So I do think they'll be feeling relatively secure there, but it's definitely not over yet. This is a game where they simply have to be winning. Sheffield United, they're down now. I'm going to say 2-0 to Leicester. If they don't win this, then they really are in serious trouble. North London derby on Sunday between Arsenal and Tottenham. Tottenham seems to have found some really good form, won the last 4 in all competitions. Arsenal, they've picked up 7 points from their last 9 games in all comps, so that's not too bad at all. Tottenham probably need to win more just to have any chance of reaching the top 4, which I do think they have an outside shot of. It could be really close. As for Arsenal, I think they're just playing for Europe. I think this will be a draw, 1-1. Final game on Sunday is Manchester United versus West Ham. United come into this one off the back of that really good win against Manchester City, before drawing the last 3 games before that. West Ham, good win last time out against Leeds, and they're just on a great run at the moment, aren't they? Really positive for them, and I can see Manchester United getting a win here, to be honest. This will be a close one, but I do think United will have enough. I'll say 2-0. Wolves host Leeds at Molineux on the Monday Night Football. Wolves, they have been picking up a bit, but then they've only picked up 2 points from the last 3, so that's slightly concerning. Liverpool, hopefully that win against RB Leipzig will give the team some much needed confidence. Maybe they should just play their home games at Hungary every week, but who knows. But yeah, I do think Liverpool will get the win here. I think that result would have given them some confidence, so I'm going to say 1-0. And then on Friday in the Championship, moving on now, it's Blackburn versus Brentford. This will be a really interesting one. Blackburn obviously went through that horrible run of form, but they do seem to be picking up a bit now against the Brentford side, who is still looking a bit shaky. 1-0 defeat last time against Norwich. Obviously had their game postponed due to a Rotherham COVID outbreak, so that extra break could benefit them for a bit, I suppose. But yeah, I think this will be really close, to be honest. I'm going to say 1-0. Yeah, I think Blackburn will manage to make a draw out of this. But anyway, moving on to the Saturday lunchtime game, Luton versus Swansea. Luton, they're okay at the moment, I suppose. Had won the last two before a defeat at Norwich, but Norwich is just so good at the moment. Yeah, Swansea, they've won their last two and drawn the other one. But yeah, you could say they're getting quite lucky through penalties, so they'll want to settle this with a comfortable, clean win. I'm going to say 1-0 to Swansea. I think they'll do it. Birmingham take on Bristol City at St Andrews on Saturday. It was clear that Nigel Pearson wasn't very happy with Bristol City's performance at QPR, given the team that he put out for the under-23s. That was pretty madness. But anyway, Birmingham, they're still not out of relegation trouble after a 1-0 defeat to Barnsley last time out. Yeah, so I think they will still be a bit concerned about that. I think Bristol will have too much for them. I'll say 1-0. Bournemouth host Barnsley in a huge game in the battle to get in the playoffs. Following Barnsley's slightly disappointing, you have to say, draw against Derby. They're 2 points ahead of Bournemouth in the final playoff spot. And yeah, I think Bournemouth will be treating this as a must win. If they lose this, then you could easily see the gap getting a bit too big for Bournemouth to make up. But I think it will be a 0-0. I think this will be really edgy, with no team wanting to lose. Cardiff host Watford at Cardiff City Stadium. Cardiff obviously on a really great run of form under Mick McCarthy, although they have started drawing some games recently. And Watford, they're on a really great run, 1-4 of the last 5, so confidence will be really high in their camp, and they've still got an outside hope of the automatic promotion places as well. So yeah, I think this will be a close one. I'm going to predict a draw. I'll say 2-2. Next up, Derby host Millwall at Pride Park. Derby, they're not on a great run of form, it has to be said. Winless in 4, but a good point out last time out. Millwall, yeah, they're starting to go off form as well, with just 1 win in 5 after a really good run. So both teams will be looking to find some form again, but I can see this being not a great game, to be honest. Two sides with not a lot to play for. So I will say 0-0. Middlesbrough host Stoke at the Riverside. Middlesbrough 2-1 defeat last time against Swansea. Neil Warnock had every right to be fuming. Stoke with a 2-0 win against Wycombe to take them just a few points behind Middlesbrough in kind of the upper middle half bit of the table. So yeah, I don't think either of these teams has a lot to play for. They're already on the beach, but I can see Barrow with a home advantage just getting a slight win here. Forest take on Reading at the City Ground. Reading, despite 3 wins on the trot, they're still not comfortable in the playoffs yet. Still 4-point gap. Only 6 off the automatics. I suppose it's a goal. It's probably very unlikely, but yeah, I think their main focus will just be on the automatics. Forest have lost the last 2, and they kind of seem just moving towards the end of the season. But I think this is a tough game for Reading. And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if they draw it. I'm going to say 1-1. QPR take on Huddersfield at Loftus Road. QPR, they've won the last 2 now after a bit of a sticky patch before then. Huddersfield, not in great form at all, but drawn the last 2. They were really unlucky not to beat Cardiff last time out, so I think they'll take a lot of confidence from that. And maybe that could give them a bit of advantage here, but I do think QPR are just slightly better team at the moment, and I think it will be a narrow win, but I do think they will get the win 1-0. Wycombe host Preston at Adams Park. Preston, they're a bit of an average run of form actually, to be honest. 1 win in the last 5. Good point last time out against Bournemouth though. Wycombe though lost the last 4. There were maybe slight hopes of them staying up, but I think that's all but gone now, really, and it's all about just playing out to the end of the season and moving on to League One next year for them. I do think Preston will get the win now, and I'm going to say 1-0. Norwich travel to Hillsborough to face Darren Moore, Sheffield Wednesday, and yeah, Darren Moore couldn't really have had a worse start, could they? Defeats the relegation rivals Rotherham and a defeat to Reading, and they were just abysmal there. Probably should have been 5 or 6 compared to the 3 that Reading got. But anyway, Norwich, they're absolutely flying. And yeah, they just can't see any let off here, especially Sheffield Wednesday, the form they're in. I'm going to say 2-0 to Norwich. But anyway, guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And follow me on Twitter, link in the description below for daily football news. And subscribe to my channel on screen right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.